A very warm welcome to you and thank you for joining us on Health and Wellness. My name is Zaitun Ali and I'm so elated that you made the time to join us every single Sunday, including today at 6 p.m. right here on KTN Home. And our topic of discussion is going to be a Spina Bifida. And I know you're wondering what this is. So it is a birth defect that occurs when the spine and spinal cord don't form properly. So it's a type of neural tube defect, which means it affects the development of the brain and the spinal cord. So joining me right here in studio, I'm so happy to have you. I have Maureen Sharon Awino. She is the founder, Neuro Kids Warriors. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
We also have one of the youngest advocates right here in Kenya. His name is Marlin Akech. He's an advocate and a survivor of Spina Bifida. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're telling me you're the youngest advocate in Kenya ever, Ama?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
Well, where? How does it make you feel?
It feels great helping kids, being the youngest, so I can grow up learning more about it.
Wow. I'm so happy to have you on set. Karibu sana.
Welcome.
And yes, Maureen, we were just talking about what Spina Bifida is.
Yeah.
And please give us your own description about it, your own experience about it, until the point you decide to become now an advocate. Where did it all start?
Okay, it all started when I was 21 years old.
Yes.
I gave birth at 21 years old, meaning I was still young. So Spina Bifida, it's lack of folic and folate in our body.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes if we do the research, we found out like the food that we eat are affecting our body, you see. So my journey is so long, but I can put it short.
Please, we are here for it. We have all the time for you. That's why we called you.
I gave birth at 21. That one was January 2013. Yeah? So being a young mother, I gave birth at Mama Lucy. Then the doctors were like, oh, kuna kitu kwa mgongo ya mtoto. Then I was like, what is that?
Okay.
And I was like, kama nurse ndiye mimi. Because for that day, watu waliza wengi. Baka nurses wenyewe walikuwa wana complain like, guy, tutafanya aje? So one of my mom's friends akatuambia like, mtoto ako na issue. So we're checking and we called the doctor before I was discharged. The doctor was like, yeah, we were given this case and it's Spina Bifida. So I was like, oh no, what is Spina Bifida? Then at that time, we had this car. There was this phone. Yeah. The famous one, yeah?
Which one?
I don't want to market it because it's not on my... So I had to Google like what's Spina Bifida. Yeah. But they... I lost hope at that time because the way it was being described, like the baby won't walk, what blah blah blah. There's possibilities. There's no possibility. I was like, oh God, it's okay because at my age, at 10 years old, I started giving back to the community. Wow. Yeah, I used to steal my mom's money and give it out. Nayo nilikuwa natandikwa. Serious? Yeah, because nilikuwa natandikwa because they could say sikuwa nizamwambia hii pesa nimepeleka. Then at that age simejua so ilikuwa pesa mingi sana. Yeah, so there's this mama who used to pass with the baby, amebeba kwa mgongo na mtoto kwa anaweza tembea. So I used to wait for them by the road. Nikenda shule our time and her time. So I used to give her, mom, shika. And I won't see her for 3 days coming with the baby. So nikazoea tu kuiba do ya mother. I give it out. Sinunuli chips ama sweetie. I just give it out. So it went that way. Then when I gave birth to my son, I was like, it's okay. So at Mama Lucy, I was transferred in Kenyatta. At Kenyatta, there's a long queue, and you see it was an open Spina Bifida. Open Spina Bifida, if it stays long, there's a possibility of a child having meningitis and so many infections. So I was transferred to Bethany Kids. Okay. Yeah, after Bethany Kids, he was still young. He went to his operation when he was 3 years old. He was young, but ulikuwa ukimwona alikuwa na mtoto wa 1 month because he had 4.3
Serious?
kgs. Yeah.
At 3 months?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. At 3 days.
Oh, at 3 days?
Yeah, day 3. Oh. He went to his surgery. It was successful by Dr. Okech. After that, I got encouraged with Bethany Kids nurses. They used to encourage me. Then before the surgery was done, I used to cry. But niliona disabilities zingine nikasema God, I won't cry again. I'll never cry again because yangu iko afadhali. I saw the tumors, some correction that those guys are doing over there. I was like, manzemi, saistalia tena. Yeah, I was like, my son is healed and he's okay. So after that, he walked on like just any other normal kid. 1 and 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah, the therapies, we used to follow the therapies. It's hectic. It's not just a journey. When mtu anaweza fikiria nikiongea, but I had a lot of stigma. Unaona.
So ata yo wacha tuanzie tu. You are a first time mom.
Yeah.
And at day 3 your son was having a surgery.
Yeah.
Wewe bado hujahil.
Sijahil because unaona nilidischarge immediately when walijua kuna open spina bifida.
Yeah.
Ambulance straight mpaka Kenyatta.
And you did vaginal delivery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bado natembea na stitches. Gosh. And you know it's jahil stitches kabisa.
How was that for you? Wow.
No, it was hectic, but my aim was mtoto wangu asishikwe na meningitis. Yeah. That one was my aim, like, hapana, afadhali akose kutembea lakini asishikwe na meningitis, tukwe na more complications, you see?
Yeah.
But luckily enough, God was there with me. He's walking. He's okay.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
So after okay, I know he can't even remember, and I'll engage him later on.
Yeah.
But let me get in terms of the surgery. So post surgery, how was it like in terms of recovery? Ni mdogo, ulikuwa unamhandle aje, washing him, all those things, step by step.
I can tell you ni neema. Ni neema because I know people can't believe it, but mtoto wangu alipona nini yake within 1 month. And it was okay. Yani just followed everything that the doctors were telling me. Which was usieke diaper kwa kidonda.
Okay.
Sometimes you can just leave him like that. Then panguza na maji ya chumvi. Like at Kijabe, at Bethany Kids, they teach you on how you can home care. They teach you on home care. So I did that and it went well with me. We never had any infection like tunarudi hosi infection. No, we never had any complications like tunarudi hosi. No.
Okay.
It went well until after 1.5 years. That is when we went to the hospital, but we were still going for our clinics, no complications. We were okay.
Yeah. So for him, treatment worked, surgery worked immediately, and the treatment as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So how has it been for you? How did you come to learn about this Spina Bifida condition?
I didn't know it well. My mother just gave a speech. I asked the mom what's it, and then my mother explained everything while we arrived.
Yes. When was that? When you how old?
I was 5.
Oh, 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
I continued, and then I saw children suffering with other disabilities. I said I can't only take the person with the disability that I have, so I took all of them. I gave my mother donated they donated school fees. Yeah, now they have grown. They are even bigger than me now. Yeah.
So any kind of complications? None.
No.
Hata milestones alimit vizuri.
Yeah, he was so active.
Yeah. Even walking.
Though he can't walk that like any other kid, but yes, me I thank God for that. Like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because some are just fishing like si hata mimi mtoto wangu atembe tu kawiu.
And I know Daktari is even around. He'll come and talk to us more about the technicalities of it and how it comes around. So for this part of the show, I'll have you now just describe about your experience, and then we can have Daktari explaining more in the second part. Okay.
Yeah.
So up to now, that's how old are you right now?
11.
11 years. Allah! Na umekuwa mkubwa haraka. So all through, talk about the awareness that I can see you even wearing t-shirts. Awareness run. When is this? Has it happened?
No, it's happening on 30th November. At Kasarani.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is it going to be all about?
We are trying, if you check on our back, I'll show you after the show. It's
wewe hata sahi unaweza ona back. Kwani hiyo back iko
Malin,
wapi?
can you send up?
Malin, let me see the back. Unzipped. Okay, turn tena kidogo. Unzipped. Let's kick stigma.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Unzipped
okay.
means
Just naona kamera ilikuwa inakupata. Hebu turn to hivyo wakupate.
just stand up if you can, please.
No problem, you can stand.
You can
It's
stand,
fine, you can
Baba.
stand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just face you.
Good.
Yeah.
Hapo sawa, we can see it unzipped. Let's kick a stigma.
Down.
Nice. We're talking about stigma. Now that I've seen it. Did you go through any? Because at least your baby was healed. And is there anything significant that can show he was going through the same? Nothing.
There is so many. So the stigma was from part and parcel from my friends, from the community, from the school. Because while he started his school, it was good. Like Sayako grade. And in grade 6, but he has went. Amekuwa transferred like more than 6 schools.
Why?
7.
Hey,
yeah, 7. Yeah.
Why is it the case?
You see, he's using diaper. He's a diaper user. So, you see, he's being discriminated by the teachers. Not even the children, like the teachers. Instead of the teachers teaching the children on how to stop discrimination. Now it starts from the teachers, but the children love them. Like they're in good terms with the children, but with the teachers, that's inakuwa, you see.
And actually, I could have asked this better. Not complications, like the long-term effects that he has undergone after the surgery. So, what are the part of it you said?
He can't control long call and short call.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a way that we normally, Bethany kids normally teach us on a way, like he can do, we call it CIC, the doctor will explain for you, and
you
bowel management, CIC.
Okay.
Yeah, and the bowel management. So we teach them on how they can control their bowels. Yeah, and we have this drug that is called oxybutynin. So they take oxybutynin after three hours, they go and empty themselves with a catheter. Oh. Yeah, so for that, he can stay dry without urinating on himself.
Okay. So it's either that or diapers?
Yeah.
Okay. And so far, what has worked for you guys?
Both are working because sometimes there's accidents, so he can't go to school without diaper. Okay. Yeah.
How has it been for you, Marlene?
Yeah, a little bit rough. Discrimination from teachers. The effect of diapers, and then how do you call it? You know, so the tax exemption, everything is going up. So the diapers are not easy to afford right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wewe unajua hata mambo ya afford. Wewe unatetea mom hapa. Aki, for real. Yeah, you're even aware of that in terms of economy.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And now in terms of advocacy, what are you doing right now?
Now I'm celebrating Christmas with the street children. Yeah, giving them food and finding for them shelters or homes so they can stay and be safe. Yeah.
What instilled this in you, giving back to the society?
To never see people suffer like me. They have suffered a lot.
Aki, a lot ni gani? Ebu niambie.
Number one, I went on an operation.
Yes.
I'm a football player.
Oh.
A needle went under my shoe, and then it stuck there. My mother removed it. We were treating it, but it became so wide, and then it entered on the bones. It started digging the bones. No. We went on to an operation. Yeah, it was successful. We came, and then I still played, and then a little bit cracked. We needed more stitches. Yeah, after that, we went on another operation.
Okay, umepitia operation mingi.
Yeah.
Okay. Apart from operations, what else has made you suffer? Do kids discriminate on you? Or what has been the experience like moving to 7 different schools?
You make friends, you start making new.
Yeah, you detach from them.
Becoming a cycle, yeah.
Oh no. Right now, how has it been? How long have you been in this school, current one?
3 years now.
3 years?
Yeah.
So you feel like you'll stay in this one?
Yeah.
Longer?
No. This one starting a little bit to discriminate, so I'm going to another school. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm so happy that you're even thinking about giving back to the society. Hii ametoa kwako. Wewe wenye ulikuwa unaiba pesa unapeleka. Hii ametoa kwako.
Yeah.
How did you now start explaining to him what he is suffering from?
No, I had to, because one, I was like, if I tell him when he's 10, that one is 13. So I was like, okay, I want to tell you, you are this and this, and this is what and what. Then he never understood it that well. So I had to take him to a nurse. So Nurse Jane at Bethany, she took him through everything, like it is ABCD, then akailewa, then she was like, oh mom, so ni hiyo tu nilikwenda kushinda ku-explain.
But umeuliza mom, mbona na have kuvaa diaper?
He used to at 4, yeah, he used to, because unaona at 5 he was at kindergarten.
Yes.
So unaona watoto wanamuuliza watoto. Sasa yeye ilikuwa ni watoto because they are still young.
Yeah.
So and the teacher was akipata umemuuliza hivyo, by that time alikuwa anawatandika. So I was like, no teacher, you should not beat them, but you should teach them on how to stop doing that and in condition gani.
Okay, and so strong.
Yeah.
So
it went that way until Yoshilo akamzoea. Unfortunately, we had to relocate.
Okay.
So my son can't go a kilometer away from me. So I was like, apana, utasoma shule karibu na mimi. So he went into another school. Unfortunately, we separated with, then after that, we had to move again. But they started discriminating him in terms of diaper, because you find out, I go to a school and tell them, my son is blah, 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 and he does this and this, he's disabled, and they even show the papers. They'll welcome him for the first term, second term, third term. But coming next year, things have changed. And you're like, no, but you guys, I told you it is 1, 2, 3. Why are you doing this? So you end up like in the last scenario, in the last 6th school, we are even in court.
Really?
Yeah, we are in court. We are in court because he was assaulted. If you check on his head, utaona badi kona.
Marlene, what happened?
Yeah, you know, when you find pencils down, you just take them. You place them for using.
Pencils?
Yeah, small ones. I used them, and then the teacher started asking me. I told them I found them on the ground. The teacher just came with the pipe, and then started hitting my head, and then it started bleeding. Yeah. And then it was good because the school was closer to. It was just 1 foot, and then you are at home. Yeah, I went. The soldier called my mom. My mom came with rage, but I told my mother to not fight.
You're even calming your mom down. Any akona patience and so much.
Yeah, it was terrible because yeah, it was terrible. I ended up now fighting for children, fighting for education for children with neurodiversity, because not all of the teachers understand them, you see?
Yeah.
Because the teacher, you see, like, he went and took some pencils. Na ukiangalia hizo pencils, hata mkono zangu, hizi vidole zangu ni refu. Unaona? So the teacher kept on asking him, instead of calling me like, oh, your child did your child come with such things in school? No. So she was fighting him. And at the end of it, she ended up even, you see.
Okay.
Yeah. So
do you think it's as a result of discrimination?
Yeah, it's discrimination because I went to ask the teacher after he told me, Mom, don't beat her up.
Yeah,
because I was so, yani unaona ile, you check at the milestone, then umetembea na mtoi nini, alafu the child is in grade 4. Apart from that, there was a teacher in that school. Mwalimu hakuwa anaangalia vitabu za mtoto wangu. Like, he never checked on my sons.
And how is he performing in school?
It forced him to repeat. Saya angekuwa anafanya ni K what?
I was in grade 6, yeah, grade 7.
Saya angekuwa anafanya KFCA. But the teacher discriminated him at grade 4.
Yeah.
Like, yeye akimwona hata ampatie homework, hakuwa anaangalia kitabu yake.
Okay.
So nilikuwa tu nimewaeka, but sikuwa nataka maneno mingi. I was like, okay, wewe soma tu hapo, nikiangalianga shule utoke. So at that time he just told me like, Mom, umejua teacher nifundishangi.
Oh no.
Ajai makata kitabu yangu. So I went to the school and asked the teacher, can I get my son's book? akakataa ati no, sijui ziko wapi, sijui sizioni. So I was like, okay, kama uzioni, I'll come for them. Then my cousin told me like, usisumbukane nao sana, we tafuta shule. So in the process of searching the school, the caning happened. Na ile pipe ya green, unaona ile pipe ya green, ile ya green. Then I went to ask the teacher in a polite manner, sasa, why did you do this to my son? Mwija saizo unaona alama, like unaona alama, and you say, you're like, why did you do this? Then she told me in Luo, you see, in mother tongue, like, let me quote, in quotes like, gimawie duongni, this big.
So that means?
Mtoto mwenye kuna kichwa kubwa. What did you expect me to beat if it's not that big head?
That is very unfair.
Yani nilisikia uchungu.
I'm so sorry for what you
yeah, nilisikia uchungu. Nikamwambia to God, I just looked at her and Matthew, she was pregnant, and I was like, God, aki nisiseme kitu mbaya.
It is okay. And that has driven you to now start
advocating for children with neurodiversity at school, because after that I started asking children. I got so curious, like me, I want to know how watu wengine wanasomangaje shule. So I used to hear stories. Then there's a day I just said like, hello, siendi kufanya awareness. Leo naenda kotini. I want to hear like these cases, because I asked one of my friends and she was like, on Thursdays we do have such cases for education, can you come and check?
Okay.
Manze kwenda kotini nilipata cases za neurodiversity, watoto wenye wanakuwa discriminated by the teachers. Ziko mingi. Then I was like, no, then I need to stand up for our children.
So you formed a support group?
Yeah, not only my child, but other children, because our kids are bright, They are bright. What everyone wanaitwa mazinga umbwe, mara bongolala.
That's what they
are very them. Bright. You see? They are very bright if given a chance.
Kizungu anachapa pata ni kizungu mzuri hata kuliko yangu.
Hata yangu. So you see, if they are given chance, they can do more. Unaona? And I was like, no, God, hawa tuna hizi acha. Wazi kwa wanacha shule juu ya vitu za ujinga kama hizi. And I do the advocacy.
So it has to be increased of awareness.
Yeah, increase of the awareness.
Yeah,
And again, our government, our education system government need to come up with something to do with neurodiversity. Because remember, some Malin might be sharp, but there's some slow learners, you see?
Yeah.
So for the slow learners, they should come up with a curriculum that favors our children. Instead of putting us in that condition like, lazima wasome hiyo Kenya wengine wanasoma. Then some of them can't read, but they can draw. Some of them can't read, but they can play football.
Wow.
So they should bring for us a curriculum that can help our kids.
So those are the things that you're also working towards.
Yeah.
The run?
For the run, the unzipped one, our parents are still hiding children. So the unzipped is, they're still hiding the kids, because sometimes you go to the clinics, unapata mama amefunga mtoi, unashindwa, mtoto has sweat. Then you're like, mama, mtoto has sweat, kwenda kufungua, you find he or she is a hydrocephalus. Then you're like, no, mom, ifai ufunike. It's just a normal thing. Then anakulete ukali. Then you're like, no, I'm also a parent like you. Na ukizidi kuficha hivi, inakani kama upendi mtoto, unajiletea stigma we mwenyewe.
Marlene, what would you like to tell people out there in terms, in regards to what you're going through?
Yeah, to stop throwing children at the streets. Yeah, and the second thing is to not hide the children, because if you hide them, you can find they have a future. They're very bright future.
Yeah.
Because now I can see our talent. They depend on our jobs right now.
Are you still playing football?
Yeah, I'm playing football.
You are?
Yeah.
Defender ama? Unakaa kuwa defender?
Goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper. Okay, that's nice. Unapenda timu gani?
Yeah, Manchester United.
Na hiyo ndo inatupeleka break. Watu wa maniwe. Me and you one side, right? And guys, we just want to take a short commercial break. After the break, we're coming back with more and deep information about Spina Bifida, because we have the doctor already in studio. He's going to join us after the break. Na tukiwa kwa hii break, tafadhali check on Lugo Collections. Unaona venye na meta. This suit is courtesy of Lugo Collections. Find them on their Instagram page. They also have a website, www.lugocollections.co.ke. Pia when you wako CBD, find them at Moktadada Street opposite Jivanji Garden. Aki tunarudi tu sai. WhatsApp number 0759434389 at KTN_home_, Instagram and X, and at Ali_Zaituni. In case you have any question, zilete. We are coming back right now.
StarTimes Home Solar Solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery, empowering you to do the things that really matter. A complete and reliable home solar solution. Call us today. StarTimes Solar. Power your life.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, muscle pain, and I'm released from pain to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain. New Panadol Extra Soluble dissolves twice as fast versus standard paracetamol tablets.
People come to me and they say they get discomfort when they have ice cream. Can you imagine that? Avoiding having cold ice cream. Sensodyne gives you long-lasting protections against sensitivity. And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Sit down with the EU ambassador to Kenya, Henrietta Geiger. She shares with me how her diplomatic career has been, and most importantly, how she's been able to balance work and family.
How different is the EU-Kenya agreement?
It's as any other agreement.
Yeah.
If you don't implement it, it stays paper. It is an opportunity, an immense opportunity for Kenya.
Yeah. What is it that you're so proud, of accomplishing on your career?
One thing that I'm very proud of is that we worked very much in the female empowerment space. So we worked a lot on FGM.
How have you balanced family and work?
The luck that I had a supportive husband. Not every husband is supportive, and also some husbands, they get jealous.
True.
If the woman is becoming successful.
I hope you learned something from her stories. I'll be your host, Pasil Selewa.
Wasiwasi kufuatia utovu wa usalama katika baadhi ya maeneo, huku mitihani ya kitaifa ikitarajiwa kuanza kesho asubuhi. Rais William Ruto asisitiza umuhimu wa umoja wa kitaifa alipohudhuria ibada ya Jumapili sehemu ya Moiben, kaunti ya Uasin Gishu.
Tufanye bidii tuunganishe wananchi wote wa taifa letu la Kenya.
Chama cha ODM kimesema hakiungi mkono mswada wa seneta wa Nandi Samson Cherargei wa kuongeza muda wa kuongoza kutoka miaka 5 hadi 7. Na mwanaharakati Boniface Mwangi avamiwa nyumbani kwake na kukamatwa na kuzuiwa katika kituo cha polisi cha Kamkunji.
StarTimes Home Solar Solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery, empowering you to do the things that really matter. a complete and reliable home solar solution. Call us today. Start Time Solar. Power your life.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, remember this is Health and Wellness. My name is Zaitun Ali, and thank you for staying tuned until this second part of the show. We have been discussing about Spina Bifida, and joining me right here on set, we have Dr. Mahendra, who is a neurosurgeon with actually 25 years of experience, right? Yeah. With this kind of neurological disorders. And also we still have Marlene and Maureen, the mom, and they are also advocates. And Marlene is also a survivor of Spina Bifida. So, Dr. thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
They've shared their experience in Wholesome, how they've even faced discrimination, how the surgery went, the treatment, actually, post-surgery, the recovery point, and the challenges that Marlene is currently facing until this point. But now for us right now, from you, we need to know what actually is this condition, how can we now diagnose it, and even try and prevent it if possible?
Well, my experience counts here because I come from India.
Okay.
And all my training was in government institutions, so where we are treating and seeing most underprivileged patients. And so this problem is mainly a problem of developing countries, where the mothers are undernourished, and particularly there is a deficiency of folic acid. And so India had been running a program for decades now, where all pregnant females, their delivery is done free if they had a follow-up. So when we have a follow-up, then right from the pregnancy, as soon as possible, the gynecologist will start iron and folic acid tablets being supplied by the government. I'm pretty sure that because I don't work with the government here.
They do actually,
but they have it. Mostly, I've been going through the papers for East African population is about 3.5% per live birth. But unfortunately, it's still there. And because of this simple thing that folic acid, if it was not deficient, many of the mothers or the kids who wouldn't have this kind of problem. So first and foremost is the deficiency of folic acid.
Okay.
But we can't just give folic acid. It has to be given with iron, otherwise some other problems happen. So one is this. Second thing is because I am also an epilepsy surgeon, and I come from a center in India which does few of the largest in the world of neural tube defect repairs. In fact, we are the people who have done new classification of these diseases.
Yeah.
So we used to operate about 250 to 300 cases per annum. So by the time I ended my training, I'd seen almost 1,000 such cases, different types. So we had a lot of experience with these things.
Okay.
And but other thing that we do is epilepsy, and we cure epilepsy through surgery. So now we know that mothers who had been having these anti-epileptics, some of them can have these kind of defects. And many times these mothers are not told enough about stopping the drug before being pregnant. The worst part is because the neural tube is being formed in the first few weeks, where their mother can still have the last menstrual period.
Yes.
So normally as soon as a lady becomes pregnant, the menses should stop. But one breakthrough period can happen.
Okay.
So that the whole month is gone. Yeah. So they don't know at that time. So even if someone was aware, they might not start with these things. So now enough awareness should be given that as soon as you're planning a pregnancy, then they should start with iron and folic acid tablets. Immediately,
even when you're planning?
Yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And for you, probably Maureen, did you ever come to know what led to Marlene's condition?
For me, yes, because at that time I used to take a lot of pregnancy pills, as in to avoid to be pregnant.
Yeah.
You see, the P2s.
The emergency pill.
Yeah, the emergency pill. So for me, I normally think that one was the reason why I gave birth to my baby with such condition. But my second child, she's okay due to early plannings and taking folic acid.
Yeah.
And I'm still planning for more.
And Marlene, were you taking folic acid?
I started taking folic acid at 2 months, meaning the baby had already developed.
Yeah.
And that's why he doesn't have hydrocephalus. Yeah, because if I could go to the clinic like after 6 months, he could have been having hydrocephalus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Daktari, now you can listen to that.
Well, I think she was lucky that hydrocephalus didn't happen. It's not necessarily that if you took folic acid later and it did not result into hydrocephalus. Mostly what happens that when there is a defect, so basically at the back of our body,
Yes.
this neural tube is forming like a fold of paper, like a tube, and it has to close like a zip. Okay, so it closes, and so it remains at some place. So maybe skin remained, or skin was open, but the membrane was there, or skin was open, and then the underlying tissues were also open, but inner membrane was coming out, or everything came out. Yeah. So this is how the grades are. What remained open, right? So like occulta is there, where there was slight bone defect. So bone didn't close, but the membranes around so the first thing is the spinal cord has to close, then the membranes over it, then the bones over it, then muscles over it, then skin over it.
Okay.
So it depends upon what did not close, right?
Okay.
So that's how the severity will be. But the larger the defect, more fluid will go out. When this goes out, the spinal cord and the brain are connected. So more fluid is now going out, so brain sags down. When brain sags down, then the lower part of brain, that gets stuck. And then there's also another method that obstructive hydrocephalus can develop because of this.
Okay.
So most of the kids, they might have this problem because the neural tube effect was larger. And that's also a basis where many centers in US and UK started fetal surgeries. That you open the uterus of the mother between 19th and 25th week of pregnancy, because at 14th, 16th week we can do a fetal well-being ultrasound. And then if we realize that, okay, there's a defect, we can close it. The closer we close, the earlier we close it, the chances of hydrocephalus are less.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the mechanism.
And for Marlene, what was the type of spina bifida that he went through?
It's meningocele.
Meningocele.
Yeah.
You know it, so what are the symptoms of that?
Yeah, so meningocele is when the skin was open and then the bone was open. So the membrane of the spinal cord came out, but the nervous tissue remained inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as when we are getting trained, we are also not very educated as our consultants are.
Yeah.
So the first thing is we flick the foot of the child, of the baby, and see if the child is moving. And then we check the sphincter and we stimulate the sphincter. If the sphincter is closing, that's a good news, because now they can be continent and their legs are good, so they can walk. Compared to those where we are seeing that everything is open, it's leaking, and then the nervous tissue is out. You can see the fat, you can see the nerve. It all depends upon what type you are seeing in open. But if the nerves are out, the spinal cord is out, then definitely there's a lot of damage.
Okay.
And then we can see that the NS sphincter is also very patulous and is continuously leaking. So we know that the sphincters are not working.
Okay, so one of the effects that actually Marlene currently is facing are not being able to control bowel movements and urinating, right? Yeah, so are there other kind of complications or long-lasting impacts?
So already he has that problem, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But now I came about 5 years back and I have a good experience about something called as neuromodulation.
Okay.
Where because entire brain activity and nerve activity is electrical. So now we can put in external devices which can stimulate the nerves and spinal cord, and children can have sensation, and they can also have a better control of the sphincters.
So there's a
It's
way of
called
managing.
sacral nerve stimulation and spinal cord stimulation.
Wow.
And we already did recently world's first case of emergency vagal nerve stimulation, where there was a patient who was on epilepsy, continuous convulsions for 3 months, and then there was no indication of doing it in an emergency. But family said, and I also knew that there is no other way out, because that patient wouldn't die with this condition.
Yeah.
But she would remain on ventilator because of continuous convulsions. So we put a neuromodulator device, a pacemaker, on her vagus nerve, and within 15 days she was able to go home. And now there are no drugs, nothing, and I have her videos of dancing.
But you have to use it for the rest of your life?
Yeah, but it means that now she doesn't have to take tablets. So those things are now also used in Parkinson's disease, in old age people who have got the urinary incontinence, and even for kids with neural tube defects. Particularly, I think he can be a good candidate because he has a partial defect. Okay, so because his legs are moving and sphincters are weak, so I think he will be a good candidate for sacral nerve stimulation.
Okay, you've had that.
Yeah.
And I think you can talk to Daktari and see if that is possible. So far, aside from that implication, and any other implications that come with this disorder, even as they grow up?
Yes. So what happens that mostly it happens at the lowermost end.
Yeah.
Where we call this cauda equina. Cauda equina means
what is that?
Horse tail. So usually, like we have 32 bones, one over the other.
Okay.
So, but at the junction of the thoracic, where the thoracic vertebrae end, which is like 19th and 20th vertebra, where spinal cord should end in adults. But when the kids are there, it is much lower because the spinal cord is smaller. So the spinal cord increases in length, but when kids grow taller, the spinal column will increase in length. That means when it is increasing in length, internally it will take up the lowermost part of spinal cord up. It is supposed to move up.
Okay.
But because of that scar of surgery, because of that complex structure that is remaining there because of defect, it can still be stuck there. So when the babies, when they are growing, so we always grow in spurts. So like 2 years of spurt, and then we are stationary. Then again 2-3 years of spurt, and then we are stationary. So around 13-14 years, there is a 2 to 3 years of time when height suddenly increases.
Okay.
That's the time the child will say, from school, they will say that I'm having strain sensation in the legs. I'm having strain sensation in my calf.
So he has that?
Yeah, he has that. You see, if he steps on a pan, imagine you won't hear the pain. Like if you even kick a stone, you won't hear anything, but he can walk.
And then they are normally they're normally running.
Yeah.
But at the age of 13 or around, they start falling. When they run faster, they fall, and they feel weakness coming up.
Marlene, are you hearing this?
Yeah,
so you need to be very cautious.
Are you having it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's called as tight conus syndrome, because conus is the last part of the spinal cord, which is a tail of brain.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be at around D12, L1, but in these kids it would be around L3, L4, which is stretched. One day they're growing, now it is stretching.
Yeah.
And it's getting thinner. So we say from aerobic metabolism, it's going to anaerobic metabolism. It's not having enough oxygen because of stretching. So it starts getting dysfunctions. And even in some kids who are normal with their bladder and bowel control, now they will have disturbance of urination, like early incontinence. They're not able to hold for long. So their frequency of urination increases. Their frequency of defecation increases.
Okay.
So these things, if they're there, we have to go back again and release those nerves so that it can grow further up. That's called retethering of the cord. So tethering of the cord, when the surgeons are operating, I'm very sure the doc who operated him did a great job.
Yeah.
But they try to remove all possible tethering elements at that time, because that's the standard of practice. They are described in books and we have to operate in a certain way. But they will still get stuck after some time, because wherever we operate, scar forms. Some new fibrous tissue will grow, and they will still hold it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we have to now be aware of this. Normally when we operate, even in childhood, maybe sometimes we operated on day 1 of the child's birth, but we give it in writing that whenever the height will increase, you may experience these symptoms. If you have these symptoms, come back to us.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. What happens now when it comes to their cognitive health and also learning adaptability? Is it affected?
You see, cognition would not be if tethering was not much. Because the second thing which can happen is that the brain is tucked down when they are growing. Because if the lower end is fixed, then they can develop a headache here, back of it.
Oh, really?
They can complain of headache because the brain is coming, the last part of the brain we call as tonsils, they would have a traction downwards. And at the base of the skull, at the neck, there is a hole which is transmitting the spinal cord, the last part of brain, which is transiting into spinal cord. So now if that's getting pushed, headache will start. And gradually if it starts growing down, which we call as the tonsillar herniation or the GRE malformation, then that can cause hydrocephalus, and then it can increase as a change. So, and then there is a sequence that when we are operating, then if we find that the child has this problem earlier, we still explore the lower end, we free that, we wait for it. If it is not going, then we operate the lowermost part of the head.
Okay. And when it comes to now physical therapy, at what point does one have to seek for this?
It should be, it all depends upon the defects.
Okay.
If there was a bladder and bowel, the short call and long call problem is there, it may require a very high level of physiotherapy, which right now I have not seen here. But definitely the coordination of legs, they can improve with more and more physiotherapy. As you said, cognition. So first is how much was hydrocephalus to begin with, and whether it required a surgery or not. So in general with myelomeningocele, cognition is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Marlene.
With this guy seems very active and smart.
He even actually plays soccer. He was just telling me, and he actually got an injury. He's a Man United fan, just like me. But he's very active. And I don't know makeup. It's your own thing.
What is it?
I
thought it's like a Mission Impossible sticker where you can change the voice.
They're actually advocates of the same. I don't know what you would mention about advocacy when it comes to increasing awareness about this condition, especially in our underdeveloped nations at times. We need to know more about it. So what would you recommend?
You see, nowadays the best thing is mobile, right? Whenever we try to advertise our company or do something, like my company is Nairobi Neurocare. And we are here in Africa to treat epilepsy as a primary thing. But we also do a lot of things, headache surgeries, epilepsy surgeries, then spine surgeries and all of them. We realize that because of increasing number of mobiles with people, let's say for example, if we have a census of people in this country, which we definitely have, why don't we target just with SMS to a girl who is becoming 15, 16, 17 years of age, who can become pregnant? Just send them targeted messages to them and to their parents that if you're planning a pregnancy, then, or if there is a active, sexually active, then we say that these are the things which happen, and if you're planning something, just take these supplements and make them aware, because now the generation is so aware. We have all known Gen Z.
I know.
So if they can create such a huge movement in a country, this is such a basic thing. I would highly recommend that our government should do it, we can partner with the Safaricom or the Airtel and all these.
All of them,
and
even
then,
online spaces, just for you're running, what's it called? An initiative on the same, yeah?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's my organization is called Neuro Kids Warriors.
Okay.
I do a lot of advocacy for children and early antenatals, and also education, and sometimes I mentor women with children with disability, with spina bifida and hydrocephalus.
Okay.
The new moms in the town who has the spina bifida and hydrocephalus.
Actually, spinal bifida and they are intertwined in some way.
Many cases, yes.
In many cases.
As I said, that if the spinal cord is pulled down, or maybe as a primary defect as well, because all of our brain, there's got some lakes of water inside the brain, and it creates water, about 140 cc per day, and then after that, it goes out of the brain, around the brain, and then goes to spinal cord. It gets absorbed through some membranes.
Okay.
So that becomes defective.
Okay, thank you. So let's find out where can we find you and how can we even support your program as well?
Okay, you can find me at Neuro Kids Warriors Organization in Facebook. Again, you can call my number 0718-960-433. I'm always accommodating, depending on how you'll approach me.
You look like though, like usichape walimu.
No, no, I can't do that. And again, I would like, for support, I would really like, because they're going to do the run, and we really need some people who we can partner with. And again, I would like to tell my parents and those who are planning to give birth to some children, like don't. I know there's some of us who are still afraid of giving birth because they think like they'll still give birth to a neurodiverse child. Please, usiogope.
The next one.
The next one will come. Okay, if you do the folic acid and you go to your antenatal as early as possible, and don't give up. Keep on keeping on.
Wow. Thank you so much, Maureen.
We are team warriors.
Where can we find you, Daktari? We also want to know some advancements and research that is happening around your area, so where can we find you?
Yeah, so definitely I am also a member of the Neuromodulation Society of India.
Okay.
And I'm working in India for last 5 years, in Nairobi for last 5 years. Now we are operating patients from as far as Sierra Leone. So all of the East Africa, Central Africa and West Africa we are operating. My company is Nairobi Neurocare Limited. It is on Facebook. We have a number 0752 112233, which is all the time available for any queries. And for if anyone has got bladder and bowel dysfunction, with particularly in this subject, we can do neuromodulation.
Thank you so much, Daktari. Time is not on our side. Thank you for watching Health and Wellness. My name is Zaitun Ali. Coming up next is KTN Gioni. Stay tuned.